What is up, GamerMoDZ Nation? Today I'm going to show you how to go from Kex to Dex with the easiest method. We're not going to have to install anything to our computer. We're not going to have to dump EID root keys. We're not going to have to make flashes. None of that. This is the easiest method, guaranteed. No easier method. So what you're going to want to do before we do this is you're going to want to get on any 3.55 custom firmware. Me, myself, I use the 3.55999 downgrader by Rebug. I'll link everything in the description throughout this whole video. All the links to anything, I promise. But I'm using that one. So, once you're on the 3.55 custom firmware, anyone is okay. Let me show you. You're going to want to install Rebug 4.65.2 Rex, and Rex means Kex custom firmware. So go ahead and get a USB and plug it into your computer, and in the description you'll find the link to download the firmware. Make a folder in your USB called PS3 in all capitals. Make another folder inside that folder called Update in all capitals, and inside that folder put the firmware PUP file, which you'll find in the description below. Let me put it on mine. Just put it in there and just wait for it to go onto your USB. So while this goes on, basically this tutorial is the easiest method. You're not going to have to install anything to your computer. The only thing you're going to be installing is like one file to your PlayStation and 1 to 2 firmwares, I guess you could call it, because you need to get on 3.55 again. But that's about it. So it's almost done. Going on to my USB. So, just 1 second. Okay, now that it's on my USB, make sure it's named PS3 updat.pup. PS3 in all capitals, UPDAT in all capitals, .pup. And once that's done, go ahead and safely eject your USB drive and put it into the right USB drive on your PlayStation, or the one farthest to the right, just to be safe. And go to System Update via Storage Media, and you should see 4.65.2 RE or Rex location USB drive, and click OK. And you might see the user agreement. Just go accept it and click Start, and don't check this because I'm going to make a reference to it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you do or not, just click Start, and I'll come back when it's done installing. Alright, so mine just finished installing. So once it finishes installing, it should either reboot, or if you selected the option for it to turn off once finished, go ahead and turn it on, and then I'll show you what to do. So it says Rebug, and the warning. Alright, so now let's see. I am on, as you can see, Rebug 4.65. So now you're going to want to do this with the USB. In the description, I'll include this PKG file. It's Rebug Toolbox, but don't install Rebug Toolbox via the hard drive version because it doesn't work. Install it using the one I put in the description and put it on the root of your USB. So this is the root. Exit the window and safely eject it. Now put it back into the farthest to the right, or the second port for me, of your console. Click on Package Manager, click on Install Package Files, and click on Standard. And then click on it, Click on Rebug Toolbox and install it. Now you're going to want to run it. And the reason it says 1 moment plays and no signal is because when I open up stuff, it loses the signal. But if I just recorded it using Elgato, you'd see it like it was opening. Anyways, as you could see, LV2 kernel is CAX and the target type is CAX. Now, when the target type says DEX, you can change the LV2 kernel to DEX. As you can see, I'm on CAX. So you're going to want to go over to Utilities and scroll on over to the bottom and click Dump EID root key. Click Yes. And then after that, you might hear 3 beeps, you might not. And it's going to reboot your console. So just patiently wait. I just heard the 3 beeps myself. And trust me, we're not going to have to go on any more firmwares after this. This is just... Right now, we're going to be changing to DEX. So, let's show you what to do. Now, you're going to want to relaunch Rebug Toolbox when your PS3 is back on. And, show you when it's on your screen. See, we're still on CAX, LV2 CAX, target type CAX. Go over to DEX CAX and click Rewrite Target ID in Flash, and it should say Found EID root key. Do you want automatically convert from CAX to DEX? Click Yes, and there you go. You're on DEX, as you can see. LV2 kernel's CAX, but the target type is DEX. So now you're going to want to go to Swap LV2 kernel and click on that. And it should see LV2 kernel successfully changed to DEX/debug. And a system restart is required. And now you're on DEX. You can stay on this firmware, which is Rebug for 4.65.2, or you can change to another version. But yeah, I'm gonna make a part 2 to this, and that will be me going from this firmware to PS3 IDA, because I prefer PS3 IDA, but you can stay on this firmware. You will, I think, have to look up a tutorial to spoof it, but I'll relaunch Rebug Toolbox real quick, show you we're on DEX, full DEX. Oh, and one more thing, just do this while you're on it. System and DEX, as you can see, PS3 system firmware 4.65 DEX, LV2 kernel DEX, target type DEX, and go to debug menu type and change that to DEX. There you go. And then now you're all good. You're on DEX. So I'm gonna make a part 2. Link in the description for part 2. And yeah.